Welcome back, family and friends, to another episode of Independent Joe. And tonight, what I have for you is I don't know if, is it a limited release? I know it's as limited as these right here, which are the single barrel proof whiskeys that Jack Daniels is coming out with. So if you call those limited, then this would be a limited as well. But it is going to be a standard release, just like their barrel proof whiskeys that they have already. As you can see, it kind of follows in that same vein with the gold sticker right here. The only difference is on the bottom sticker it's green, and then the neck tag has also green, kind of what this looks like here, except with no gold sticker. I really like these ones right here. I don't know if you've seen any of my previous videos, but I got a couple of these, and I was lucky enough to walk into a store, and it's normally a store that I walk into where I just know that I'm not buying anything because they have a various amount of prices that are a little bit way too far above. Well, I found this in one of their, not behind the counter, and behind the it was just on a regular shelf, and I'm like, okay, they might have accidentally put it there. It's probably still priced at a crazy price, because I had just came from another store with this same bottle, and it was sitting with all these right here, and the price on that was $69.99, and I was like, okay, so maybe it's $69.99. So I walked over and they scanned it, and he was like, okay, $215, and I was like, I had to walk out. So I walked out of the store. I said, nah, I'm good. So I expected the same thing here, and when I came up to the register, handed the bottle over, and they scanned it, and $69.99. So I was like, there ain't nowhere else am I gonna find that for $69.99. So I had to grab one up. And yeah, I haven't tasted it yet. First taste is gonna be right now with all with all of you. I get choked up whenever I think about how I'm gonna be able to taste this. Oh my God, what the heck? I would clear it with this, but then it might be a little bit rough, because at 138.2 that might burn a little. Should I start the video over and do this all over again? Why? Why should I? And yes, you heard me right. 138.2 is this right here. Now I have a variance of these right here. The highest I believe I have, I think, is a 134.5 or something like that. So that's as high as I could find one of these. This one right here is the Devil's Batch at 66.6 ABV. This one right here is at 69 ABV, so I'm pretty happy about that. Pretty sexy, if you ask me. And of course, this one right here is at a whopping 132.4 proof. So you get a lot of variance when you're talking about these type of releases, and this one right here is just it's getting up there. I mean, I think from what I've read anyways, it can go anywhere from 125 all the way to 145. So you're talking about hazmat, and those are some of the type of releases that are going to be released later on down the line. So they're preparing your palate right now with these flaming hots releases to get you prepared for the hazmat that's coming soon, or coming ahead of time. So this right here, of course, I wasn't doing best of the year for 2020. I don't think I did for 2020. I only did for 2021, 2022. And then I'll be doing the best of the year for 2023. But I have to say, these right here would definitely head over heels come in first in as far as ryes. Some bourbons too, because these are what we would call bourbon drinkers rye. Even though it's at a high rye, because they are at 70% rye, And then you got 18% corn and then 12% malted barley. Same mash bill as this one right here. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe you can educate me in the comments and let me know if you've had these before and if you know the particulars on this. I know these ones are at least 4 years old according to, I guess, regulations for the TTB. These ones right here, I'm not sure as far as at age what they are believed to be. I thought they were between 6 and 8 year old rye whiskeys that comprise these. But this is 4 year old, at least 4 year old whiskey. Both of these are non-age stated, and yeah, I'm just happy I got to pick one up. This one right here is was bottled on March 9th. Yeah, March 9th of this year, which is pretty cool. The barrel number is 2301937. So if you have the same barrel as mine, hey, share a pour with me. And of course, this came from the Barrel House 2 Tech 03. As I stated before, I found this for 70, but MSRP is at 60, I believe. Are you going to find it at 60? I'm just happy I found it at this price point right here, because I know, like I said, I had just came from another store and they had bumped up that price, and I'm like, man, I guess I'm not going to see this in my area. I would have to get it from somebody else. But again, luckily I walked into the right store at the right time. Sometimes you'll get that, and you'll see those prices 200 and plus. These right here, I believe, like from where it started, which I think is around $70, it's now at like $600. You know, you can't find it, you know, anywhere. So I'm luckily I was there when they released them, and these weren't that big of a deal back then. People were buying them, but they didn't know what they got. These right here were I believe a 200, they put aside 200 barrels just for this release right here. And this one right here, like I said, it's going to be a staple. It's just going to be what they release, just like they release these right here. So don't feel like you have to rush out and spend that $200 or more on this bottle, because you're going to find that it's going to start hitting stores. It's going to start hitting shelves. And I mean, I don't know if they're tracking that where store sells them and then they replace them, or how that works. But I'm hoping that they're saying, oh, well, you haven't sold yours yet, so we're going to wait till you sell yours before we give you another batch of ones you need to sell. And hopefully the stores that are selling them for the correct price are getting the bulk of the release, these releases. So hopefully we could only hope. So just want to say thank you to everybody who supports the channel. Hit that like, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to the Patreons who support this channel. I've lost a couple of Patreons. That's okay though. You know, I know. You know, got to do what you got to do. So really appreciate the support you have given me up to this point. Thank you, and God bless, and thank you for the support you have showed so far or up to this point, and hope nothing but the best for you guys. Thank you, appreciate you guys, and appreciate again the Patreons that are still here. So let's see here. Let's take a look at that. Look how dark that is, and look how oily that is. That is crazy. That is crazy. And take a look at the bottle, the front of the bottle, how it differs. You know, I gotta fix my lighting, I think. Look how dark that is. It's like, has like a, you can't see it on the camera, I don't think, because it's just dark, but has like a, it's really dark, like a rich coffee with a red hue on there. If maybe you could tell how, well, no, not really. The camera doesn't really distinguish this color, but this one is actually darker than this one. I would say significantly darker, but it is what it is. It's all good. But man, I hadn't swirled it, I haven't touched it, and I'm glad that I'm getting to taste it now. But man, this is good right here, man. I can't can't say it enough. Thank you to the store who was selling it, or at least at a minimum didn't know what they had. Man, it's a lot from what I remember from these bottles. Again, these are one of my favorite ryes that I have. I love these Jack Daniel's ryes. They know what they're doing with this 70% rye. Really good stuff. Really nice, dark raisins. A little bit of that oak char on this. Now there is some ethanol spike on it, but not to the point where it's like you can't inhale and enjoy the rest of what you're getting, but you do have some of that ethanol in there. But overall, you have some of that sweet, that dark brown sugar, like if you're cooking it in some buttery oil, and you're gonna make man, this is crazy. If you're gonna make a saute or something like that, you put some brown sugar with some butter, and you're gonna put it on your cinnamon rolls or something. It's just nice, and there is a little bit of hint of like a cinnamony, peppery type aroma to it, but more on the cinnamon side. I don't remember it being this one where it was more savory. So I mean peppery, but really nice on the nose. Let me go ahead and go in on the palate. Cheers. And if I make a face, this is actually my first pour. So at 138.2, yeah, let's find out here. Yeah, really engulfs the palate. Whoo! This one was, I didn't get that from this one where it was so much heat right on the palate. But you still got that buttery, creamy, brown sugar. More of the pepper comes out on the palate than it did on the nose. I got more cinnamon on the nose. But man, at first that punch is right there. It just lets you know, like, this is 138.2. So, but surprisingly didn't like pucker my mouth and make, just dry it up with any ethanol punch. It was just it's just still sweet. I get some almond, some like drizzled with that brown sugar. That oak it is present on the finish, and it's just like really sweet, really nice. Whew, man, that first taste was crazy, but it still coats. Look at that, still coats like crazy though. I don't know how they do it at around 4+ years, but they're doing it. I don't know what the trick is with Jack Daniel's, but they're doing it right. Cheers again, everybody. Really appreciate everybody who supports the channel. A little bit softer now, so not so much so crazy. I think I took a huge drink on the first one, so it just went a little bit like all over. This one was a little bit softer, really nice, sweet, something you can sit down and enjoy after that initial blast. You get some good flavors from it, and you get some good flavors even while you're trying to if it's your first pour, you're gonna get that. At 138.2, you're gonna get that. No, I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Man. Yeah, it's just that initial, and once you're, I don't know if it's your brain or your palate, but it understands what you have, and it's just so sweet. It coats the palate really well. It is really good. Now, I'm not going to do a comparison against this right here. I know, I think somebody else said that this right here, that they preferred this over this. And I get that. And you can easily say that for me, I probably wouldn't compare these two. Because I really like this, and that is not going to change. I'm not going to say I would prefer this over this because this is not available anymore. Because that's easy to say, you know. But I'm glad that they have this. I'm glad that it's going to be one of their standard issued whiskeys that they're going to be putting out, and it's not something that we like went bye and came and gone and everybody, you know, who didn't get one. But I can understand why people would say, oh yeah, I remember I tasted that once at a bar and I would prefer this one. Yeah, you have it in your hand. Of course you do, man. It's good stuff. You can't take away from that. Now, I wouldn't go as far to say it's better. I would just say that they're equally as good. They're both, you know, really good whiskeys. They're both single barrels. So I mean, you're getting the same profile. This one right here, for some weird reason, is darker, but at the same time, these, just that flavor, just the flavor you get from these, the flavor you get from this, it's good stuff. I would recommend either of these at MSRP. I wouldn't recommend like one over the other. I mean, if I saw these two in a store and they were at the same price, I'd probably still be grabbing this one. Even though that one's there, and they said you can only grab one, I'd grab this one, even if I thought this was slightly better. I don't know why. I like the single barrel, the special release, the little tag here. It's all about, you know, marketing. Do a good job on this bottle, so it would pull me towards this one. But again, you can't go wrong with this one if you're just looking at flavor. Crazy punch, crazy brown sugars, that sweet oak. Definitely pick one of these up when you see them, and don't feel like you have to rush out and pay the first person that you see a crazy amount of money to grab one, because you just don't. You don't have to, because they are going to be released now. Thank you, Jack Daniels, for doing that. Thank you for seeing the what everybody's been asking for in these single barrel proof ryes, and we appreciate a lot of the distilleries that do that. They see what the demand is, and then they put it out. And here we are with, I think enough people had said, you know, let's get that single barrel proof rye back out again, and now they're making it a staple. I mean, at first, I think they're new to the game with rye. Maybe that's what their holdback was, because they did start in 2012 with the unaged rye, and then in 2014 they came out with the rested rye. And I don't think these were like to drink really. But they had came out with those where the unaged was just a clear rye whiskey. Then you had the rested at 2014, and neither of them were like I don't palatable from what I understand. I have the unaged, but it's not something that I would drink, because I just couldn't imagine that it would taste good. But then in 2016 they actually came out with their single barrel rye. And then in 2017, they came out with their Tennessee rye whiskey. So it's good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you. Appreciate everybody out there again for supporting the channel. Thank you for everybody who tunes in to these videos. I know they go long because I can see the timer, and I'm just like, whatever, man. I'm just talking about the whiskey. So appreciate you all. Thank you for sticking by me, and gonna be having a few more videos coming out pretty soon. I've been kind of lagging on the videos. I got a Russell's Reserve, a pick release Russell Reserve that just came out that I picked up, so I got that. I got the Sagamore Reserve, the 8-year-old rye, batch 2. I got a Corbin Cash rye. A lot of rye, huh? And which is an 8-year, which is sounds pretty good. I haven't had the 8-year, but it was a distiller's release this year, so I was able to grab one of those. And a bunch of others. I still haven't done the Maker's Mark, the BEP. I know you guys probably seen other people review it and be like, I'm just another person reviewing it, but still got to do it. I mean, I bought it for that, so I got to do that. When you buy it for that, you got to do that. So, yeah, now that my palate's acclimated, really nice, really sweet. That first one, man, man, I would know now to make sure that I've had a pour of something. But hey, this is first impressions, and that's the way I do most of my videos, where I just talk about, I'll pour the first glass from whatever's in here, and I can't wait to see how this opens up. And maybe when it opens up, I'll do like a side by side, not really to tell you which is better, but just to see what the differences are, if there's any. Because again, like I said, same mash bill, same processes. Might be differences in age, I'm not sure. But if you do know, again, please in the comments let me know. Let me know if you've tried any of these. I'm sure most of you have tried this. Let me know what you think of maybe even this one right here, and if you're in the hunt for this, if you've found it. Maybe found some liquor stores for people to stay away from, because they're gonna try to tempt you with the bottle, but have those crazy prices. Yeah, so appreciate you all. Thank you for your time. Have a good morning, afternoon, good night, whatever time you're watching this, and I'll see you on the next one. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Been having trouble with my damn remote. Well, that ain't gonna work. Cheers, everybody.